Cody Bayer, right? Bayer?
Yes, sir.
All
Like the
right.
aspirin.
Yeah. So, you just did a show recently, right?
Yeah, where was it? At Ivory Orange on, well, I guess I did too.
I haven't been there yet. I've been wanting to check that place out. I hear it's a really nice place.
Yeah, it's
But
cool. I actually work there. Like, we do events and shit. I'm working an event tomorrow. It's usually all just like baby showers and wedding showers and
I'm in
like
talks with a
receptions.
couple of places like that. There's one that's I spoke with them and sat down and spoke with them yesterday after work. Pat Brennan over at Casa Loma Ballroom. It's like they have like UFC fights
Oh, shit.
and like it's the capacity is like 1,000. And
Damn.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to work up to that before
Right.
I can try to do a show
Yeah.
like that. But me and him talked for a while. I got some good advice. Mike Tobin over at the Back Door, which is opening back up.
Yeah.
Are you on the list?
Yeah, I'm on the list.
Fuck
I should
yeah.
be. I'm doing the roast too, so
Hell yeah. I felt so bad.
get some redemption.
I'm hoping he'll have me host it or be a judge or something because I kind of want to keep with the whole thing. I'm the one that started the idea.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I remember you brought it to him.
Kind of like one of those things that I've had a lot of people tell me after that show. They're like, you should really keep that and keep your name on that. It's like, I've never had my name on it really.
Right.
Especially after they started changing stuff up.
It was such a weird format. No one expected it to be in one night. Like, we
No.
all thought it would span a couple weeks. So when we found out the day before, which some of us did, like maybe half of us found out it was the day
Oh
before.
no, even I did because he was like, "Hey, I was thinking of doing it this way," and I was like, hey, "It's your club, buddy. I'm
Yeah.
not an arguer. Like, I'm not gonna."
Which,
do
like,
what
I
you wanna
wrote
do.
for everybody. So I was like, okay, I only had a couple for everybody, maybe. Like, I was up against Quentin. I knew that for sure. So I had him locked. I knew Kuvar was going to do well. I had him locked.
We all know you beat what's his name Quentin.
Oh, he
even paid you,
straight up
didn't
paid me for it. He
Yeah.
split the money with me because he
He's a
felt so
good
bad.
guy. He's fucking
And that
genuine.
I felt like a dick after that though. Like, I made way bigger, like too big a deal about losing when I should have just.
No, you were
fucking
more
let
like
it
you
go.
weren't worried about money. You feeling dick because somebody gave you money for it, and they're like, "Wait a minute, that's not what I was."
Yeah,
I just
no.
wanted to be recognized that I got cheated,
Right.
and everybody there.
I lost
has-
by half a point.
Yeah, I've had everybody. Dude, the other night I did a comedy competition at Word Up.
Oh yeah.
Tommy Dangerfield, Jason Nelson, Marquise Moore, Nate Barron was there, Gary Becker, Lauren, a bunch of people, but some big names too. Lost by 3 points.
Damn.
I lost by 3. I was so mad Marquise Moore got me. I was like, but he earned it. He
He's
definitely
fucking
earned
stellar,
it.
too.
Yeah, but just like scoring because it was out of 100 points and I got 95, he got 98.
Wow.
And I forget, I don't know what Tommy Dangerfield and I think it was Jason Nelson, maybe, or the other two, and they were right there, 89 and like 92, and just scoring next to those guys because they're all
Yeah.
funny, really, really funny. Tommy Dangerfield's a murderer, Marquise Moore is too. So, shit, Marquise Moore is the one that brought me up at the Back Door for the first time.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I see the Back Door's doing that show. Kuvi's putting on a show there,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
That should be good.
I'm thinking about booking a spot because I just want to do a show, a
Mhm.
real show, like
Yeah.
a real show. Like, have you ever been to a place called Sky Music Lounge?
I've heard of it. I've seen the posts all over the place, but I haven't been.
Yeah, they're what the fuck's going on here? It's this like blues bar in a way. So, yeah, there we go. It's a blues bar, and they're only open on the weekends. I used to bartend for them. It's over there
Yeah.
off like Caresmill Road and Wildwood
Oh, yeah, I
area,
know what you're talking about.
Chesterfield, Wildwood, and really nice fucking place. And it's got like a green room for the comedians and to
damn.
be in the back. There's a main bar, but if I rent if I rent the spot out, there's another bar in the back. And like behind these two double doors to where it's another little room.
That's sweet.
And it's a smaller personal bar, and that's the bar. I would just have that shut down, the main bar shut down during the
Right.
show, so you're not.
Yeah,
You
you
don't have to
got to
deal
get a
with that.
drink.
Yeah,
Go
you
out
go
back.
there. You can have people talking. There's a little patio outside too. Just go outside and smoke.
Yeah.
And it's only $300, and basically whatever door is, I get
Right.
the rental would be $300, and then the door is, and the capacity right now is 85. So I mean,
not
there
bad.
could be about a $500 profit before paying comics.
Yeah.
But I want to get a good comic. Like,
Right.
I want to get like a Greg Warren, or I would love to get. I've reached out to Nikki Glazer. It's like, hey, why don't you give the local deal? The Po Man deal.
Dude, I thought for the longest time that I worked with her cousin. She worked at a ice rink in Chesterfield. I worked with this kid named Sam, and he fucking let me believe because he knew I was into comedy and stuff. And I was like, "You're not by any chance like really?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's my cousin." For fucking like 4 years, he just let it go, and I'm like, "Dude, put in a word for me." He's like, "I don't know her like that." Yeah, because you don't fucking know her.
I know some guys that know her as far as like went to high school with her, and she didn't know her, nor she wasn't obviously then she wasn't a super popular girl from what I've been told. Like she was always, I guess Nikki Glazer, obviously, but just wasn't out of her shell maybe as much then, or maybe she was and just a huge screaming slut. I don't know.
Apparently, she had like an orgasm for her first time, and it just went from there.
Great.
Yeah,
I
it's
love a
awesome.
woman that empowers that shit.
Why didn't it happen for guys?
I remember my first one. I was humping
I remember the
pillow
first
now.
one. And I was like, the first time something ever came out, I was like, no fucking way. And then it went from
Am I a
like,
man?
it went from immediately being like, fuck yeah, to like, oh no. Like, now it's a weapon. Like, oh fuck. I could fuck up so many things right now with this.
I could go hold up a convenience store right now.
Yeah, like, fucking. Oh no, I gotta make sure I wipe the toilet seat so I don't fucking get jizz on it.
Get somebody pregnant.
God damn it, my dad or something like that.
All right. So, how long have you been doing comedy?
At the rate I've been doing it, like consistently, I think I just had my like anniversary maybe a month ago for
2 year, 3 year, 4,
I think it's 1 year.
1 year. Yeah, I just hit mine. Mine was January 4th as far as performing. If I tried to do like writing, because I've always been into comedy, but then I've told the story a million times, but John Maddie got into it years ago. Started watching him, was really jealous, started really writing comedy. Then, me and my wife, we got a little place out in Valley Park, which wasn't far from Funny Bone. I really started writing, but then life took over. We got married, moved out here. And I finally was like, I'm going to go do an open mic because I seen John Maddie perform after 6 years again. And he fucking blew the
Yeah,
roof
you're like,
off the
holy
place.
shit, look at
And
the difference.
he wasn't even getting the laughs on it when I was going to see him at first.
I mean, the first open mic I did was probably fucking 10 years ago. Like the first time I ever did it.
Oh, okay. So
and
you
it went,
dabbled with it before, huh?
Yeah, like I'd do one and then I wouldn't go again for a year, and then I'd do like one a year for fucking 10 years because of my work schedule being a cook and shit. You're always working at night.
Yeah, I know.
Could never make the mics. But like I remember the first one I did was at Funny Bone, which that's when there's 60 people signing up in the same night, like, and they picked 15. And the first night I got up there, I just wrote Virgin next to my name. And I got on and I was like, fucking right. Like, and I went up, I did some joke about playing pool and I used the mic stand. And I think it was
already using a mic, using props.
Well, that's exact. I had Nathan. I think Orton was there, and he came up after me, and he's just like, "Fucking, that's his first time. He's already doing prop comedy." And I was like, "I didn't know if that's good or bad, but I'm gonna go get drunk now."
Yeah, I did. My first one was at the Helium Bucket night because I knew I would get on, and Funny Bone didn't let me go on. Like I went there and signed up, and I didn't get on. And I think that happened to me twice, and I was like, "Fuck it, I know I can get on at the bucket mic, like no matter what." So I just went there and did it, and I didn't get on at the Funny Bone for months. I don't really. I sign up. You'll see me sign up maybe once a month nowadays. They haven't. Nothing against them. I know they're going through a hard time right now. Everything that's going on, it's just, or maybe it's just my luck. Every time I go there, there's 10. It's a Tuesday. There's maybe 10 people, and they're just comics, girlfriends or friends. And it's like, I can go. I know of another open mic that's always like have to refuse people 50% of the time from coming in because they're at capacity and shit. So it's like, why the
That's
fuck?
like, oh, if you're like that place tonight, I don't think I'm gonna go, but that place is a fucking awesome venue. Like, it's
When's the
such
last
a
time
good
you've been
spot.
there?
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
See, now you guys are catching on. I've been going to that bitch since before this year.
Yeah.
Like I left. I locked my keys in the car. My car's in the keys.
That's a huge key.
Yeah, it
Or a
is,
tiny
man.
car.
It was, well, it was a car for my penis, so it was pretty small.
That's true.
But yeah, I locked those in there on like New Year's Eve night, and then I remember coming back in my car, and then like a week later I go there, and nobody's there yet. I didn't know if it was gonna make it, but then all of a sudden people start showing up more and more, and then one night I get there a little late, and it's like no room on the list.
Right.
There's fucking Max
Dude, there's a
Price.
sweet
There's
spot at,
fucking
like-
all the Funny Bone guys.
Yeah.
There's all the Helium guys. There's Molly Ambergery, which shout out to her. I like her podcast. But and her and then Andy Hamilton and JC. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's awesome that they're out there, but god damn it, this was, you know. But you know what's really nice about those different. That's a different crowd. It's a different room.
Dude, and they will fucking tell you if you are shit.
Yeah, it's
They will
nice
let
seeing
you
some
know.
of these guys that have gotten comfortable at the
But
Funny
they won't
Bone.
tell you that they can't hear you, because that's what happened last time I was there. I guess, like, I didn't have the mic close enough, and it fucking...
Yeah,
I get done, and everybody's like... I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, I know I didn't do great, but I didn't think I bombed, and they're like, nobody could hear you. I'm like, fucking, you're telling me everything else, why don't you tell me, like, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I'd like it. I went, and I've seen some of these comedians that are, I don't want to say big headed. I'm not gonna point out a name, but showing up to some of these rooms lately, and they're not handling it too well.
Right.
There are some that are doing great, like Will O'Donnell. I remember I watched him one week come. Didn't bomb. I've never seen Will O'Donnell bomb, but a couple of his jokes that always hit at Funny Bone or Backdoor weren't hitting there. Like that shit wasn't funny.
And he
Will's came back the next week though, and fucking he moved some shit around.
Yeah.
You know,
Will's
tweaked
good
it.
enough that
killed
he'll
it.
just point out, like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just self-deprecate, get him back in a good spot to where, like...
Which Will do you like? Do you like the cleaned up, like?
I like them both because I've seen them in two different, like...
I've seen him that dad,
and they
you know,
both
like
work, yeah.
PTA meeting fucking one, and then I've seen the what's it called, the drunken one. I seen him the other night.
Yeah. I haven't seen him really go hard, like... I mean, he works clean, and I wish I could do that because I would open the shit.
Yeah, I've been working on a clean. I've
It
got
would
about 5
open
minutes,
up so
5
many
10
more
minutes.
avenues, but like, I'm not there yet as like a writer or as a comedian, like to where I can't just like look at something and make a joke. Like I have to somewhat. I guess I rely on storytelling a little bit, but
Or
like,
just something that sticks out. Like, hey, that's funny. There's funny
right, and
there.
then I can frame it within something a little broader. But like the just 1-2 punch jokes, like unless it's I'm making fun of someone. Like I realized when I was writing those roast jokes, I was like, I can do this. Like I just have to fucking hate you. Like I just put myself in the mindset of like, oh fuck this guy, and just write everything.
I was horrible at those. I got beat by everyone. Lost to Gaffigan. He won it, but he really bodied me because he was prepared for me. I was like I even shook his hand. I was like, yeah, you murdered. I didn't know I was gonna have to compete until the day before, or something like that, a couple days before. And I didn't want to. I wanted to just be the host. But I'm glad Andy Hamilton did it because he did a great job.
And he's so, like, he can come up so impartial. Like, oh, great job, guys. Like, good sports.
Yeah, no, I got him coming next week on Sundays, I believe. Yeah, the 17th or something. 5th, 14th. I don't know. Can't see. I'm blind.
Stay tuned.
So, How do you write? How do you like? What is your method to your madness to write a joke, or are you still just like using?
I come up with a tag usually. Like I'll have like the little quip part first, and then you go, okay, now I gotta fucking
Build a story with it.
get it there. Like
Okay.
you can, I don't know. It's either that or I know I have a good story that's like a true story, and I just bump it up a little bit. Like
Punching out. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Exaggerate fucking how
Do you
big
do
my
any of
mom's
the?
nipples were.
Have you checked out or done any of the like different kinds of? A lot of people say you can't teach comedy or nothing, but you can't. You can teach people how to write a joke
Right.
and what jokes are and how to be somewhat funny. They're not going to be great. You can. I played basketball all through high school and some college.
Right.
I still didn't go to NBA.
Yeah.
I know the game. You know, you can know comedy and you can know how to
We can be
do
coaches.
some comedy,
That's
but you
our-
can't.
We can make a movie. 2 white guys coaching,
Coaching what?
swimming.
Swimming.
But like-
Synchronized swimming. Oh, yeah.
Now we got it.
With midgets only. Midgets
But like you
synchronized
gotta have
swimming.
the one guy that can lift everybody up. Ooh, what if it was like a diving team with the little people, and like you gotta. It's not necessarily diving. You just kind of throw them off, like the high dive, but you try and hit into rings. Floating in the water,
okay. Now
like,
we're talking. Now
fuck yeah.
and we could make this an event. Like this could be a game, a sport.
It's like skee ball plus little people, wetsuits.
If it's cold.
Oh man,
Skin cells.
we gotta rent out the Recplex. in St. Peter's. We gotta get that place.
Oh man, we would be canceled
Probably
immediately.
need to
Dr.
talk to-
Seuss can't even have books out
Speaking
right now.
of canceled, were you at Funny Bone?
I was at the Word Up doing the competition.
Holy shit!
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but I was like,
See, I'm
that
glad
must
I
have been
wasn't.
awesome for everyone there to see a person canceled in real time. Like
Yes.
you just like
I wondered
canceled.
why
Like,
nobody had. I get, yeah, I get. I was like, nobody recorded it, but then I was like, who records anybody? Other people's sets,
Right.
really, especially an open mic, and nobody knows them. But I was like, I'm glad I wasn't there because that's just the one thing
I'd
that
have
I
got in
mean.
trouble.
There's a couple white comedians that have used the N word, and it was funny, and the whole black crowd laughed. And it was
Right.
like Ralphie May, Joe Pettis, or
you're
whatever
not
his
gonna
name
find
is.
those people at a Funny Bone open mic.
No.
They can make that work.
But so if you're using that word in a malicious way, it just instantly to me, because I mean I grew up calling a black man dad and my
Right.
grandma and all that, so it's like it, and I dealt with it like up close and personal. I used to get in a lot of fights over this shit, especially when I lived out in Virginia, North Carolina area, down in the South. Like it's much heavier down there, and it was that's just the one thing I've never got it. Like I had the one Jason's old lady called me, said I was appropriating the
Oh, yeah.
culture, and I was like, how? What am I? I'm not appropriating. No, scientifically we have our hair naturally dreads because our brain's the most important organ on the body, and it's a big soft basically cushion
Right.
and a form of warmth around your neck, which controls the temperature of your body most of the time.
When you're a caveman,
Yes.
you're getting hit in the head a lot. So it naturally forms a helmet.
Its own helmet, yeah. And believe me, I've been hit in the head. Like, I was setting trusses one day and doing this little hip on this roof. I know nobody knows what that is. But anyways, truss was in the right place. This old guy, Todd, goes to swing and hit the truss, beat it with a hammer.
Yeah.
And his hammer, he had gloves on because it was winter. Hammer caught a truss in mid-swing, so it like just enough pitched it, and it took it out of his hand, right in the back of the head. And it hurt. But it didn't put me down. He's like, dude, I've never seen anybody else without hair.
Yeah,
They'd have a
fuck
split
that.
head. And he did. He hit me right perfectly in one of my bigger dreads. So I know that I still had a big, huge egg on top of my head. But it does help. But they do get hot, too. Anyway.
Oh, yeah,
But yeah, the racism thing, I couldn't have done it because I wouldn't have just let him walk out. I would have been out there like, I would have scared him. I'm like, what's up, dog? How you doing? Let's talk. let's
I don't
have
know
a
what I
talk.
would've done, like, I was telling Rachel about it, and
I would have scared the shit out of him.
she's like, "Ooh, glad we weren't there." I'm like, I know, because I don't know what would have happened. Like, I would have definitely escalated it, and it wouldn't have been good.
Oh yeah, see, I wouldn't have been like, it wouldn't have gotten, it would have been escalated, but just to a point to be like, yo, I don't know. Brad walked up and just punched the dude in his fucking mouth, and
Yeah.
it was like, that was it, and he left because I'm not
just-
stupid enough to stick around after punching somebody in the mouth. That's the biggest issue
Yeah.
with people in fights nowadays. My old lady knows it. It's funny. Anytime we like go out and I'm starting to feel like something could go down, I'm like, "What's the rule, babe?" And she's like, "Get the car, get it in the front." It's like,
Also, add one more. Grab the phone. Everybody get your fucking phones.
yeah, especially out here. It's a blonde, red-headed guy.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh,
Well,
just do a
okay, we got
Facebook
him.
Search.
We're on our way. God damn it,
Yeah.
Brad.
But I'm glad that I wasn't there for that one. It would have been nice because it seemed like a pretty exciting, fun like moment in time.
And like the camaraderie afterwards
Yeah.
that we would like could have had that you're just like, did you fucking see that guy? That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have ruined the show. Who follows that?
Teal Pierce went after.
I'm so sorry, Teal.
And apparently I saw his post and he said like he did not know what to do, so he's like, you know you can't say ass up here, man. And I'm like, that's great, Teal.
Yeah, Teal.
That was a killer one.
Yeah, Teal. I remember Teal Pierce. Open mic, Helium. A group of women come in, not of the highest of class or level of IQ. And they're for a birthday party. Got cake, got fucking balloons, light stuff. They're on Instagram and Snapchat during an open mic. Literally,
Oh my
they were at the Helium. So we were in the garage, and there's the other fucking stage, right? Having a real show go on. And those guys, those comedians that were in town,
They got kicked out of there, and then
no, they came over to do to do a 5-minute set before they went up there because they're like, oh, to get some more stage time.
Yeah.
Ended their shit at like 2 minutes.
Damn.
Like they were like, fuck this, I'm out. And I didn't go up until like third to last. So at this point, I'm just fucking boiling because I'm just watching every comedian get fucking not be able to deal with it well.
Right.
So by that time, I went up there and I was like, you guys want to hear some jokes? And they're like, yeah. And I looked over at them. I was like, can I fucking tell some jokes? Are you gonna shut the fuck up? If not, I could just yell at you all fucking night.
Dude, bachelorette parties are the worst. Like, I've never performed for one, but I've been at shows where they show up and you're just like, God damn it. Like, it's the whole night. It's fucking. The one time I went and saw Gary Goldman at Helium, and he like, I addressed him one time and they said something back that he just did not like, and he just goes, just not gonna look at him. And like went on with the rest of his show. And anytime any of them spoke up, he'd just like, he'd look at them and then look at the like staff and be like,
I was at the Centralia and we had.
he never took him out, but he was like, I can and I will. I'm trying to tell my story about how I'm super depressed. Well, if you shut the fuck up, I'll get to it.
Yeah, I just did that at Centralia. Like it got kicked out too, but it was I was like the second person up. Mike Ratcliffe went up and they were rowdy, and there was like 150 people at this show. It was the Valentine's Day show.
Oh yeah.
So or the competition, Mary Jane won it, and I go up there and I just stood there until they shut the fuck up. And I finally called him. I was like, they're like, oh, he's waiting for us. I was like, yeah, I'll wait here all fucking night. Or
I'm like your third grade math teacher. I'll wait.
I told him, I was like, I'll just kick you the fuck out because I can do that. I got the power. I got the mic. Yeah, it's nice. I'm seeing a lot of the guys like you. Dormeyer's one of them. Radcliffe was always been one of them. Starting to really get like comfortable up there and do different stuff and develop. And like the Dormeyer shit that he has polished up. I watched him do some of the stuff he's doing now a year ago, and it was nowhere near what it is now. And it's crazy how I don't stick to. I won't work on something that long.
Right.
If I can't figure it the fuck out, I'll come back to it later. I have recently came back to one joke. It's about the hokey pokey, and I got that shit. It's a killer. It's a banger. Yeah. One of my banger jokes. Right.
That's what it's all about, man. You know.
Yeah, it is. It's about a shaken baby and a hokey pokey.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But the
It's
baby just had Parkinson's. That's why it was so good at the
Ooh,
hokey
did you
pokey.
clear it with Joe the animal?
Huh?
Did you clear it with Joe? We
First time I tried it out, it was...
Are we allowed to do Parkinson's jokes?
Yeah, he hasn't thought of it. I think he has something like... people don't ask me to hold their baby, but mine was... my cousin got arrested for shaking child abuse. They accused her of shaking the baby. I kept telling her not to teach it the hokey pokey so young. But it had skills, all right? The kid had skills. A long investigation, we find out it just had Parkinson's.
That's pretty good.
So that explains why he was so good at the pokey pokey,
You don't even need the quarter for the bed at the motel. You just tuck him in real tight and
you just cuddle him. Yeah, I used to, when I read the first time I wrote it, and the first time I ever tried it, it didn't work. I used to say, you should never hold a baby and do the hokey pokey. Was it how it started? And then I eventually worked it all out. I like to just, the whole Parkinson thing doesn't make sense, but it still hits.
It's just a way to take it further.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They're like, well, why the fuck? Parkinson's, shaken baby syndromes, those two probably don't have nothing to do with each other. But I really like just going off in a tangent. I'm not tangent, but like this weird place that like people are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like the joke I do with the Jeep. Changed the oil in my Jeep. No, I had a sticker on the bottom of the Jeep said, if you can read this, flip me over. Took it in to get the oil changed, and it came back and it was upside down. So there
That's
I am.
pretty good.
There I am driving down
Fucking
the boulevard, sparks flying everywhere. Get to a red light, lady looks at me all confused and say, don't worry, it's a Jeep thing, you wouldn't understand. And people by then are just like,
why did we go here?
Yeah, exactly. But I enjoyed it.
I know, that's how a lot of my stuff is. It's like, I know none of you understand what the fuck I'm talking about at this point, but I'm having a blast up here.
I love doing the dark. I mean, I've got clean comedy, but I really like doing my dark comedy that I've got polished up enough to where I can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people try abortion jokes, and they don't work. But
Right.
I think my abortion joke's pretty solid. Like, it's quick, it's easy, it gets the attention.
Just like abortion. It's quick, it's easy. Does your joke cost like $700 by chance? Because then it'd be a dead ringer for abortion.
Oh,
The similarities are striking.
Hangers and a bottle of cheap vodka is the way to go.
Dude, you got stairs all over your house.
Yeah, they do a twirl.
Right.
The baby's for sure going down. Actually, we're working on having a kid right now.
Oh, yeah?
Which is crazy,
Congrats.
because I've had a pregnancy scare when I was younger.
Haven't we all?
When I was like a teenager, and it scared. My mom's like, "You ruined your life if you guys had a girl."
You
pregnant."
told your mom?
Yeah, she wasn't.
Oh my
it
God,
a
that was
real
so good at keeping
pregnancy
mine a
scare.
secret.
She didn't. She wasn't pregnant though. You know? So
that's how ours was. Like, we thought, I mean, it was the first time either one of us had sex, and of course, like the next day, she's like, "I feel weird," and I'm like,
"Oh yeah,
all right." So they her and her friend go, and then I just get the text like, "We're all good," and I was like, "Yeah, I fucking know."
I wore like 3 condoms.
I'm the luckiest kid on earth, not in terms of like good things, but
just white privilege,
right? I could walk away from that, and everyone would be calling you the bad person. That's awesome. Like,
Kevin Federliner bit her ass. Take the kid, get child support. But yeah, so now when me and my wife trying to have a baby, it's like now it's not against my nature. I've got to like reprogram my brain. We gotta like have sex and bunk babe so I can't pull out.
She puts your belt on like between over both of you and just latches that bitch tight.
It's just scary, man. It's fucking scary. Having a kid it terrifies me.
I always thought like if I was gonna have a kid, I'm gonna get my body in like the best shape that it could possibly be in, just so it's only producing the best stuff. Because like I thought of it like if I'm just eating fucking chili dogs and Mountain Dew, that's all those sperm coming out are just like chili dogs and Mountain Dew. Like it's just 2 guys in line at fucking 7-Eleven racing into this egg
to the last chili dog and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have to start drinking more water.
I drink a lot of water because of my job. I build houses, and it's very demanding. Which, yeah, you saying I gotta be up early. Bro, I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning
Fuck
on
yeah.
the job site,
That's
like
ridiculous.
swinging a hammer by 6 every morning, and I still hit the mics. No excuses. Ask Mike Ratcliffe how much I work. Put it. Not well, just work a lot. He's like, dude, you're always doing something. I was like, yeah, because if not, I'm gonna do drugs.
It's like a shark. If you stop, you'll die.
Yeah, yeah. We're literally. I have to. If I'm not doing something like, even with the podcast and comedy, I'm still like now looking at, because I was gonna do the comedy show at Bobby's place. Before COVID, and that got all shut down.
Closed.
Yeah, I had that shit set up twice. I even had Greg Warren agree to come to that show.
Damn.
I was like, yeah, man, it's kind of like an open mic, but for comedians that need more time, because that's how it was. It was like an open mic, but I was making sure it was all comedians
open
that
mic
were
plus.
gonna get, like, if they were, me a year ago, I would have gotten 7 minutes to work on some shit. Because I noticed even it doesn't affect me as much as it affects the storytellers, that the time, how much time they have to work on stuff. So that's what I seen, and I was like, man, I want to see some of these guys actually be able to
unfold
continue.
some of that shit.
Yeah, like Mike Ratcliffe. I was like, I want to see what he can do. Like, because when he gets going, like when he doesn't feel, if he's not feeling it, you can tell. But when
he'll cut his stuff short. Like if he has 5, he'll do 3 and just be like, that's all. I'm good.
I think my favorite, which is common as far as one-liners, the guy makes me. He has so many of those jokes that they're called. They're like, "Fuck you, dude." Like,
yeah.
I wish I wrote that. Like,
dude, there's a couple
Spencer
of those where you're just like, oh, fuck, I love Spencer,
yeah,
dude.
like,
His shit is hilarious. And I tell him every time we do it, like, anytime I see him, almost to the point where I'm pretty sure he's, like, thinks I'm a creep. Because I'm just like, dude, your fucking blowjob joke, your free blowjob joke is, like, my favorite fucking joke.
His bugle fingertip jerking off joke is one of my favorites. But he has quite a few of them that it's just like, should I still be doing it? Should I do this? Like, he's that good. Like, how the fuck are you that good? No. But I have told him a few times, but he makes me, I feel, what is it? What's the word? Insecure?
Looking in the mirror a little harder these days.
Like, why can't I tell jokes like that? No, I mean, but he sees, like, I've tried to talk to him here and there. That's why I'm having him on the podcast. That's a big reason this podcast is because I don't like sit in a crowd with people and try to be the center of attention and all that. But I'd rather have one-on-one conversations, or it could be a couple people, but in my house at my leisure.
Right.
That's what I like this little place for, especially with no kids. And if I have kids, it's all gonna be ruined, man.
And if a fucking, that's your. I was like, oh god, the lamp's on fire. But
Oh no, that's my cigarette. What the hell are those dogs barking about? That's the worst thing, is I've got to fucking figure out them. Dogs make some noise sometimes, and I'm not the best editor, and I'm not good at the computer stuff.
Right.
But it's getting better because I'm upgraded my cameras that I'm using. I ordered 2, but they weren't good, so I sent them back, and I'm gonna spend the money when I have it, like some good money.
Nice.
But I'm building stages now. I got Jason Nelson wants a portable stage, like a stage that he can put in his car and take around.
That's sick.
And it's basically gonna be a stage, like it's all gonna connect. It's all, the way I'm gonna cut the wood and the slots and stuff. It'll all fit together.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then the way I've got it figured out and designed, it's really gonna be dope. Like, and you can do it. You can have multiple ones and build them as big as the stage as big as you wanted.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
They're like fucking Legos. Yeah. Like Lego stage.
So when's your next show, man? When
I know I got the one in May at Red Flag.
Yeah, I've seen their 420 thing. I have yet to be hit up for a 420. I got to do more weed jokes. I've always just kind of held off on all the weed jokes I've got because
low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's like Nick using his blindness.
Yeah,
he doesn't that often.
Right.
He calls himself out more than He needs to because he doesn't. He's funny through and through. Right. Lean in on that blind shit. That's just a plus. But the pothead jokes it's oversaturated. It's got to be really solid. I've got a couple. I've got some solid ones, but I don't know. There's better weed jokes out there. It's like I watched this Ralphie May thing that he was talking about where he's giving a bunch of advice. He's like, when you see something new come out and every comedian's trying to write about it, something that happens in it, he says, you make sure to write the joke and just keep writing that joke. You cover everything in that joke to clear it to where nobody else wants to fucking write a joke about it because
the board on it.
You've already touched everything and fucking and said what needs to be said about that whole thing. And it's like, yeah. So you got to have a good one. It's got to be solid to go up there in the ranks with, I don't even know, some of the more famous ones.
Dude, the one Ralphie May has about like smoking weed with Jesus. And I was like, hook it up, Jesus. Little sugar-coated Christmas trees. I was like, that is the perfect description. Like, that was amazing because you can see it immediately and you're like, that's really good.
Yeah, so weed. I can talk about weed all day. That's something I'm too passionate about. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. Yeah, you look at all the book. Well, there's a bunch of books over there. There's a few of them, but it's just all fucking organic
botany shit.
But yeah, well, I've gotten to the point of where I've been learning and working on genetics. I was before I shut everything down and stopped like growing.
Is that why I'm hearing mine? Like, what's behind that door? Am I about to be like experimented on?
No.
All right, cool.
I just said that the genetics, like, no, just create your own strain. You know how there's all these new strains? Yeah. And that's just from, like, having enough strands that you've you've stabilized their genetics, and now you've crossbreed them, and then you stabilize those, and it takes a long time to actually do. And that's kind of what I got into for too much of my life, thinking I was going to go grow legal weed, but... Guess what? You got to have 3 to 5 years of experience in the
growing
industry.
Growing legal weed.
Yeah,
when you like, can't possibly.
Fuck do you do that? Yeah, I've got an Indeed resume for it. Yeah, I've got all kinds of shit. But
you know my references? You're gonna have to, pay for the jail call. But I got references, guys.
I do have references actually that aren't. I got a guy from Colorado that's been running a legal dispensary for a long time, and a guy from Seattle, which is a famous multi-platinum record metal band drummer.
Oh yeah,
for some band called Wormwood.
Damn. Isn't that fucking
He's a huge
moonshine or whatever?
That's absinthe, I believe. Yeah, absinthe. You can get Wormwood extraction and just get the absinthe alcohol part and just have the trip.
I've never done that. It sounds like fun, though.
I haven't really dabbled too hard in it. Not enough to where I've lost control.
Yeah.
I'm funny about drugs that I do. I've done the psychedelics. Like
DMT. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I haven't done DMT. I would love to do that. That sounds fun.
I've recently
not fun, but enlightening.
Yeah. Well, I know. I learned how to extract it to make my own. But it's very hard to get the materials through customs and everything nowadays. And it's just one of those things it's so popular that you can find it, but it's something else with there's a fly. No, that's a ladybug. This ladybug always comes. The past 2 episodes, it's like, oh, this motherfucker's recording. I'm gonna go fly.
Wants to be famous, man. A Bug's Life too. Look at me. It's Dennis Miller flying around.
So, what's one of some of the biggest things, since you've really gotten into comedy and been regularly performing, what's one of the big things that started clicking? I've noticed, even with me, something just finally it clicked for me. Like, mine was, I watched a video, and it said, to learn what a joke really is, you should know what that really is. Like, there's like 8 forms of different jokes. There's 8, the miscongruency, misdirection, self-deprivation, all the 8. You should know those so well. And I remember I just like jump back to basics. Basically, you go all the way back to like
Yeah.
school almost with grammar to learn like the structure of a sentence, and that's what when I started doing that, it just all started clicking
Yeah.
with writing. But performing, I think that's all stage time, really.
Yeah, like the biggest thing for me, I guess, with performing is like slow the fuck down. Because the first couple times I just ran through everything and I still had 3 minutes left on the clock. And I'm like, oh shit.
One of
Like,
those,
and you
yeah.
step on laughs and stuff. Like, it wasn't over rehearsed. It was just like the adrenaline, and you just want to get up there and spit it all out as fast as you can without fucking anything up or forgetting anything. Like, that's the biggest part is remembering everything.
Oh yeah, I know. That's being when you. I did what was like 15 a couple weeks ago, and 15-minute minute one-liners.
Damn.
15 minutes set of one-liners. I'm starting to see like I find I give more respect to like the one-liner that are famous, like Henny Youngman, Mitch Hedberg, Stephen Wright. More and more. Like Henny Youngman did a fucking like 2 or 3 hour special once for a fundraising thing.
Yeah. Dude, it's
and he's like of all one-liners.
It's insane. Like just the time that it takes to come up with those, and like.
Well, that's because I write as a storyteller, like you. I write everything. I started as a storyteller, and that was one thing that actually helped me make it click. When I decided to become a one-liner, I went through all my storytelling jokes and I was like, find what the funny is. Is there an actual joke there?
Yeah.
Write everything out. Is there an actual joke there? Is there a setup? Is there enough information for the setup, or is this just a shock? Like it caught somebody off guard that somebody said that. That's
like if I got it. I have a couple one-liners, but it's more like just a question that pops into my head that I'm like, if this happens, does that mean this?
Yeah.
Right,
So okay,
sorry,
observation, comparison. That's a lot of mine are like abortionists are just really bad pediatricians.
Yeah.
That's just a kind of.
Right.
I've got my newest one is pedophiles only record music in A minor.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So stuff like that. But yeah, that's those. Once I learned what a joke was and more or less and how to make something a joke, it really helped click for me. But I've noticed a lot of different people have done it differently. Nick Kuvar's was he watched the Jerry Corley stuff. It really helped him write, like be able to work. That structure of writing helped him.
Gary Goldman did a thing. It was like over, I think, a year, where he just did every day. He tweeted out like a tip for starting in comedy or being in comedy, and then I think it was vulture.com compiled all of them, and it's fucking 365 tips to be a comedian, and they're fucking awesome, dude. Like I think number one is like record everything.
Yeah, I do that.
Which that's the thing. 90% of my shit I record, but the 10% that don't, it's always like that was the best set. Like I didn't fucking get it. Or I did a joke that I didn't even write down. It just like came natural, and I'm like, it's gone forever because I don't know how I fucking created that.
I thought I had the best fucking video the other night, but I was so far away at the comedy competition at Word Up. Like literally, I did a lot more crowd work that night too, as far as like because they were talkative, and I worked with it, but I think I did 4 or 5 jokes throughout the 5 or 6 minutes that I was allotted because of like. The laughter for one, like I go through that video and it's a lot of laughter. Like I was hitting them perfectly, like the timing. I've watched the video a few times. Like it's all timing because all the jokes, nothing's changed. It's just the way I delivered it. And
dude, it's so.
Which I wouldn't have known that if I didn't record it. So yes, it's very true.
And like I wish I could have that autopilot mode. Like I know I'll get there eventually, but I don't know if I want it. Like. Because I want to be able to have that spontaneity where if something else pops in my head, like, as I'm saying that, I'll just stop and fucking say that and then be like, okay, back to that other thing. Sorry. Like, well, and that's how, like...
Yeah, you're very unique. That's, my old lady's liked you since the first time she's watched you.
I remember you telling me that, and I was like, fucking right.
Her and Kirsten actually be over here. Both of them are your fans. Like, they both really like you.
Nice.
they've always had big crushes on Ed Sherran. So you could maybe get a blowjob, you know.
I mean, I got one at home waiting.
Yeah, so your old lady's like, this motherfucker.
I mean, you're not wrong. I probably could get a blowjob, just as a blanket statement.
You know, because that's where he's at in life, god damn it.
All right?
He's a
You
man
can buy
now.
those online now. Like, add to cart. One blowjob.
And there's options with it, like eating ass as. That was an update in 2020.
Do you want, what color do you want it?
Do you want it to resemble your cousin nowadays? Because that's like a big thing. Do you want her to play as your sister?
We know that it's not your actual cousin, but it's still
Sexy, hot as fuck. No.
because we've all been there. When you're like, "That's my cousin." Fuck. Damn it. Never mind.
Damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
How many cousins?
How far apart? Oh, like first.
Is it a step cousin?
Steps don't count. This is the video right here. This is how the porno goes down every time. I guarantee you. They're like, well, we're not real brothers and sisters. See, that's not my thing. I'm an old school. I like. My thing is the backroom casting couch. That's my shit.
Yeah.
I'm a seasoned masturbator. I've earned the masturbator title because
You got
I've
fucking
stroked it
badges.
enough. Yeah, I've earned my stripes, my strokes, the whole time. You know, and it's this new age that's brought in the whole brother sister thing. Because us old folks, we got what we got. We like what we like. I'll venture off every now and again into something a little different, but it ain't no brother sister shit. It's
No.
like, and then when you start seeing it on like your feed all the time, it's like, man,
You're like, what am I doing?
yeah.
That's called. What
What's
in
an
the
eye
algorithm?
click,
Why
it's
are they
all-
pushing this on me?
all about the actresses? The
Yeah.
actresses, if you watch one and she's done something else.
Oh yeah,
and
you go to
that's-
their page and you're like, all right,
Yeah. Oh, so she's fucking her. She's got a lot of brothers.
that's not her. I just Wikipedia'd her. She's an only child, so we're good, you guys.
How many stepdads does she have? They must be. What is that religion?
Mormon.
Yeah. There's some reverse Mormon shit.
Dude, I grew up with a Mormon church behind my house, like my whole life, like out in St. Peter's.
Scary.
It was nuts. Like on the big ass holidays, nobody's there. But then like
See, they should be the ones that are required to work. I always say that when shit shuts down for Christmas, 'cause I don't celebrate Christmas because I don't like Christianity. It's just
Nobody
not
does.
for me. Yeah,
if it's they do, they're lying.
That's some scary shit to begin with. Like as a kid growing up with some religious ass grandparents, it's scary. But the more you look into it, it's like, whew, yeah, that's not the one I want to be.
I was lucky. I always had hockey, so I could never go to church.
Yeah.
Like me and my dad were like, nope, gotta go to hockey. See ya.
Oh, you're hockey, huh? What school did you play for?
Zumwalt South,
Zumwalt South. My boy was
St. Chuck.
my boy played why is this slipping? Lutheran?
Lutheran South.
Something like that, yeah. The
Probably.
good one, rich kid one. The rich
Yeah.
one. Yeah. He's like
I think
Wildwood.
that's them.
He's like a brain surgeon now out and well, he's back here working for WashU.
Damn.
Not a brain surgeon, just something with the molecular brain psychology.
He's just making brains.
Yeah, he's like making them and shit, dude. Like, and he makes them that jerk you off. So
He's like, see that brain? That's your brain. I have your brain right now, and it's right here. You didn't even know
it's
that.
been a little foggy lately.
You didn't even know that, did you? Yep. Came in. I was like, got your nose. No, actually got your brain.
I was having dreams the other night and I was drowning. Now I see it in a bottle, a glass of water, a jar of water. So, what's been your favorite show? Where's your favorite place to perform around here? Now that places are open back up, where are you stoked to go to?
Those shows at Ivory were sick. Like,
Oh yeah,
they're all because it's such a.
how many capacity?
I think we had 50 there at the last one
Well, how many
because we can
fit?
only do 50% capacity. So we had, like you can normally have 100 people in that
Oh,
place.
okay, so it's 100. That's a decent
Yeah.
room. That's a decent amount of seatage, especially for a club to start off.
Yeah.
On, as far as,
And it's set. I mean, it's not set up for comedy at all. But the way we laid it out, it worked to have like the 50 people in there. Everyone had their own table.
well, you don't want tables.
But it was just so like people could be far enough apart. Plus, we didn't have enough chairs to be able to just like line because we could have fit more people in there with just chairs. But then nobody wants to fucking sit next to anybody that they don't know. So we're like, we'll just do tables, 2 and 4 tops, and then we had like a couple big ass tables that like
if you get
bigger
the
groups could
place,
sit at.
I've thought about this a lot, the whole way to do it, and if you can like bars, short bars, because you don't want a comedy club that serves food. Food really disrupts a comedy place. Like it's just not a. I can't imagine it. And I've watched a lot of different podcasts and did a lot of different research on starting a show. Like when I dive into something, it's like I do
Full
everything.
bore.
Yeah, and like the controlling a room, you want to be able to do. You want to have all the TVs off, of course, but your tables, you don't want big tables. You want short tables, especially you don't want no food service. You want short tables so where you can only put a chair behind them,
Right.
to where they can still set their drink and maybe a purse, but they're not going to sit there and have 3 or 4 people around the table. So you have like. And so I was just thinking, like, all right, so you have short little bar tables, maybe a foot wide,
Right.
and boom, boom, and you can have it that set up that way to where there's 3 tops, 4 tops, 2 tops for different size groups that come in and everything, and you can have them separated that way, and that'll give you your social distancing because the people that come together don't have to social distance. Right. So I thought about how it's going to be set up. I've even heard and thought of ideas of like a curtain system of somehow to keep everybody separated, to where you'd have to have a higher stage to where the comedian's looking down and they're looking up at you, but you can have, once you get everybody in there, you're able to divide them up with curtains in a way.
Only worry with that is like then you can't see other people laughing, and that's our when I
well, no, they're gonna be like the curtains aren't gonna be like all the way to the ceiling. It would be
just kind of like
it would just be
shoulder level, maybe.
Yeah, and you're gonna that's the biggest thing. And then I thought about how did they do it back in the day in the Coliseums to get the sound to go out. They had the performers all the way at the bottom, and then they had the big round bowl, right? We reversed that, just flipped that.
Yeah.
Basically
tone down.
Yeah, so the laughter gets to the comedian, and he's still able to deal. He or she is still able to feel and work with the crowd and everything, and get response because it's just an echo to him. There's got to be a way to change to be able to do that.
Short of like a stadium or something like that, or like an amphitheater of some sort. Because I remember, this is embarrassing, but I saw Dane Cook. I mean, it's not embarrassing. He was the biggest fucking comedian at the time. Like, it was his Vicious Circle tour, and he played down at Savis or whatever it was. And he just had a circle stage in the middle of the fucking place, dude. And he just, like, owned it. It was nuts how many. There's 20,000 fucking people there. More.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones that was really doing that. He did it all through MySpace too.
He was like the first in our generation, like rock star comic like that.
Yep. I remember that Kool-Aid joke. I remember all kinds of things. I don't even know, what did he get accused of that's so bad? Why did people talk so much shit on him?
Louis C.K. accused him of joke stealing, which like it's Louis C.K. At least I didn't do what you did.
Yeah. Louis came back from that pretty well. Nobody knew what he was going to do or how he was going to handle it, but he handled it pretty fucking well. I was surprised that he was able to do that.
That's just nuts. Like, I'll never know that sort of like success or anything, but I don't think I could ever I've never put myself in the position like that to have anything like that fucking come back on me. You're just like, no way, man. Like,
yeah.
There's no fucking way.
What is making it to you? What would be making it in your eyes in comedy to you?
Right now?
What is making it? Like if you're like, sure they made
like,
it.
If I say something now and actually
well, let's get it on film right now. What is making it?
I guess at this stage, doing like steady touring
gigs.
Like, steady touring weekend shit like in clubs as I'll be a fucking road middle, like whatever, like I don't feature. I don't give a fuck. It's better like I know I'm not gonna go from here to like the top. There's no way. So you just like I set my sights small, or smaller at least, where I'm like, no, okay, I'm doing all right now. Let's get to this next stage, like smaller stage. Take it in little bites, and then
See,
who
making it
knows,
to
man.
me is just being able to supplement the income I've got
Right.
coming in now, which so that means I need to stop getting raises and stop.
Yeah. Stop being good at my other job.
No, it's just I picked a field that I sacrifice a lot of time and body. Like it's hard on the body, especially in the summer when it's like fucking 110 degrees out there. I'm on a roof setting trusses or just framing is you're beating my hands are beat to shit all the time. I'm always, but it keeps me fucking strong.
Yeah,
I
dude.
guess I don't know. I can open up a jar of pickles pretty fucking good
with one finger. I almost went into carpentry when I like straight out of high school. I had a fucking letter of intent. I had everything ready to go, and then I show up to the union school or whatever it was, and they're like, "All right, it'll be like $1,800, and you start on Monday or whatever." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "I don't have that money, and also I'm kind of freaking out right now." And like, dude, I just fucking bailed. I was like, I called my buddy. It was this company that gave me the letter of intent. And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't want to do this because I have no idea what I want to do. I'm 18. I have no fucking clue what I want to do right now." So then you go to community college for a fucking year.
Oh, you would have made so much more. You would have gotten so much
well,
more.
and it was right at the fucking housing crash. So like,
oh yeah. What? No, not good.
That's what scared the shit out of me. Is like, I'm not gonna have a fucking job. Find out later, like, I would have had a job. Yeah. And it's like, whatever. Like, I probably wouldn't be fucking doing this right now had I been doing that at that point. Like,
yeah, Missouri does pretty well during the crashes and everything that we've had so far.
Need more strip malls. You always need strip malls.
I think there's something to it though. The fact that how many being in it, being one that's building it. I build the guy I build for now is we do custom big mansions like Jim Edmonds' house.
Oh fuck!
Like 19,000 square foot mansions.
Damn.
So.
And what's that address?
And it's a. But before this guy, I was working with the cookie cutter like McBride. Mm-hmm. They are building so many houses, and I don't understand why. Because there's so many people that are switching from owning to renting. So what's the point of so many being built? I don't know. I just feel that there's a lot of houses on the market, which isn't good, not great. But I look at every side and angle, and it's like there's a lot of foreclosed homes still since 2008 that have yet to be scooped up.
Yeah.
And we're just constantly building, which is great for me. But
yeah, where are these people coming from though? Like,
they're young couples.
That's why I'm like they're a band.
A lot of them,
unless they're coming from out of state, like they're fucking leaving somewhere else to come. It was like Wentzville is the biggest fucking town all of a sudden.
Wentzville.
And like,
where's that?
It's just past O'Fallon.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know where that's at.
Dude, like 10 years ago, that place had nothing.
Well, that's like Eureka. Eureka's turning and blowing up.
Yeah, it's where my grandparents live. I haven't been out there in a while, but.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I keep getting some feedback for some reason. I don't know what it is. All right. So what are your plans to get to make it? Because you just need to be able to supplement the income that you're making now.
Pretty much, like, I guess, like, just fucking keep grinding like this until everything, like, you can get some decent stuff now, like with the pandemic and everything, but I feel like once it opens back up, like the floodgates are gonna fucking open because people are gonna want to go see everything. Like,
oh yeah, I'm hurting from concerts. The day that they shut down the country, we were packing the car to go to Florida for a big, huge reggae festival thing.
Damn.
For a whole week, we had an Airbnb. We had a bunch of friends that were gonna meet us down there. Had VIP tickets.
Fuck. Yeah, we had a cruise ready to go last October. And like, I hate the fucking ocean, but my favorite band would have been on there, and I was like, I'll go for that. So it's rescheduled for October.
You don't like the ocean?
No.
Get out. No.
It scares the shit out of me.
Oh, it terrifies me. My father lost it.
I shouldn't say I hate it. I should say it's scary. Like, it's fucking terrifying. I'll like get into like knee deep maybe.
I'll fucking shred the waves. But my father lost his arm in the Coast Guard to a boat propeller out in the fucking ocean. And
that's nuts.
It is.
That's a sweet story though.
Yeah, like that's all of his shit. And he's like,
I
dude,
thought you were gonna say there's his arm.
No, that shit's gone. But he wants to get a tattoo of a boat propeller on the arm that got cut off.
Oh fuck yeah, like, dude! My parents own a tattoo shop. Shout out Big Bear Tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell them.
Oh,
it's out in St. Peter's, but
I might. You guys ever looking for new artists to kind of?
I have no idea.
Well, my boy's been doing tattoos for a while now, and he does all mine for free. But that's because I let him do his very first one, which is this one.
It's not bad for the first one.
No, yeah, I'm gonna make him touch it up. I was like, we're gonna go fix that once afterwards. But I thought he did a really good job. What the fuck? For what he did.
Yeah.
Like for his very first one. I don't know what's up with this thing. I think I got it. Yeah. Whatever. It's clever.
Yeah, dude, I used to tattoo a little bit. Like,
that's where I was got a lot of ink.
Yeah, like my dad did most of them. So same thing. Like most of the shit on my body was done for free.
I like that the water shit. Those blues are really nice.
That one was like, this one's pretty sweet, but there's fucking all these little dots, which he did at the end. And like, this shouldn't have taken 3 hours, but it took 3 hours. And the last like 25 minutes is just him going, and I'm like, dude, you motherfucker. Like, I'm over it right now.
Yeah, I got one when I was 50. The day I turned 15 on my birthday, my mom took me to the Iron Age and let me get a tattoo because me and my brother got caught trying to give each other tattoos by cutting open our skin and putting ink in it. Shit, idiots. So yeah, that's how that ended up. But I thought I was the coolest fucking kid in school. Had a tattoo.
Yeah. I got mine, like, my dad wouldn't let me get it until I was 18, and if I went anywhere else, like, I'm fucked that way, too. Like,
yeah.
It's his occupation, and if he tells me I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. Like, I got it on my 18th birthday. I walked in like fucking hot shit at school the next day, dude. Yeah. Like, oh, what? Oh, nothing. And, like, that was my first one. I need to get touched up, but, like, everybody's like, damn, didn't that hurt? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's annoying. They're
like,
irritating.
It is. It's the most annoying thing. You're just like, dude, stop. Keep going.
It's an irritating feeling. Like, when I first got my first one, I was a real skinny kid. I was very athletic, real skinny, bony, and I got it right on my back of my neck here. Oh, yeah. And I felt needles in, like, my elbows and my knees and shit. It was nuts.
I have, like, half of my back done. And, like, when he was up on my shoulders, I fell asleep. It was the weirdest thing. Like, it gave me like goosebumps so bad that I could just like, I could push him to where my whole back went numb, and I fucking passed out for like 2.5 hours.
You know, there's a lot of addicts go in to get tattoos. I was like lead singer of Against Me. Mm-hmm. It used to be Tom Gable. Now it's Laura something.
Yeah.
He was the first celebrity. I mean, like. Big
I remember when I found out about that. I was like, I know that band.
Yeah. And anyway, she goes and gets like just blackout jobs for like hour sessions where they like cover up old shitty.
The dude from AFI did the same thing. Blacked out his arms
because it's the dopamine. That's all they're doing it for is the dopamine.
Dude, it's a fix. It is a really nice like.
It's like, man, why don't you just do a show? You're Against Me,
right?
Like, come on, chick, like. That's what we're doing the whole thing for. Yeah. Like, we're not doing it because we like it.
It is nice to go in there and almost be like, get that like fuck you pain where you're just like, hurt me for an hour and a half, like.
Yeah.
And then you fucking sleep so good afterwards because it just takes everything out of you.
Yeah, well, until you wake up and your back's sticking to the fucking sheet because you fell asleep.
Dude, the worst is after they wipe it, like. wash it off and you're done and everything, it's that last fucking wipe with a dry towel that you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part of getting tattooed. And then, like, I don't know, I've never had one heal bad or anything. Like, the worst one I had was the one on my hand that, like, barely has a little holiday in the middle of it. But
Yeah.
none of them, like, none of my shit ever healed bad because my dad's he's super light-handed with his tattooing. Like, some of these other motherfuckers just drill it into you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
But he's very nice with it.
my old lady uses he's got the Trader Bob's guy
Yeah.
over there named Freddie Featherfinger Freddie or some shit. He does some nice shit. And what I like about him is he's turned down tattoos. He's like, that's not my style.
Right.
It wouldn't turn out as well as if this artist did that.
See, and that's
It's honesty. He's not worried about the money. He's
Right.
worried about his reputation and his work.
he
So,
wants you to be happy with it. Like, that's respectful. It's classy too. Like,
he don't want to put his name on something he knows that's not going to be that great.
Right.
And that's I like honesty.
that's a nice thing about my dad's shop. They got so many people do so many different styles that, like, I wouldn't be good at that, but they can do it. And, like, they can all fucking draw custom shit and everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get into like the tattoo more than like the
Stress
doing
me
it.
out too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm a chef,
Yeah,
which is not
that's-
stressful at all.
No,
Like,
just where are you chefing?
I work at Stacked STL, the burger bar, and then Ivory Orange is owned by the same people right across the street.
I chefed it up for a while. I was like the third three man. I wasn't the Sioux, but I was fucking right behind it. Down on the Outer Banks there's some really nice restaurants and like where they you get these prima donna chefs that like want to be called chef. It's like, no, dude.
I hated that. Like, I had the title a couple times, and I'm like, just fucking call me
would-
Dr. Chef.
I would never have called myself chef because just personally, the restaurants I was working for, they were never going to let me come
Right.
in and create a special. So that's what a chef is to me. Like when they come in and they create a special with what they have on hand, or they went in and we had the fishermen that come in and sell us something right out the back door, and they make a special out of that. So they create different, new dishes all the time.
Yeah.
That's a chef to me. These guys that just come in and work at Sugar Fire and they got a culinary arts degree and they're like, I'm a chef. I was like, no, you're not. You're
I'm a
following
culinary student.
You're following fucking directions that are right here on the wall.
Those
right?
are words, like, I've hired people, and, like, those are death words. I'm a culinary student. All right, thank you. You can leave.
They're all prima donnas.
Like, I was a culinary student too, but culinary student means you don't know shit.
Yeah.
And all these people think that, oh, I'm going to chef school, so when I graduate from here, I'm gonna be a chef. This is a 9-month program.
Yeah.
There's people over in France that have been doing this for 16 years and are still a fucking prep cook, man. Like, get over yourself.
I worked under a couple of decent chefs that were like known. Like one guy that I did for like 2 months. I sold him a bunch of cocaine too. But he was from New York. He came in from New York to start his restaurant. Well, the guy started the restaurant and had him come in as the chef from New York. And he had worked with one of the people that I guess Ramsey had learned from. Only one.
Fuck.
Ramsey, I guess, has learned from multiple. But he could cook some fucking shit, dude. Like, yeah, I remember I went there for this fancy dinner with an anniversary dinner or something with my old lady at the time, and we got porterhouse steaks, and I've never had a steak so big.
Yeah,
And
dude,
it was
those
like
are-
a $200 fucking bill just for the meal.
fuck yeah. You get a tomahawk steak or something like that, you're looking at like $400. And then you get the asshole that sprinkles salt on it off his elbow, and you're like, can you wash your elbow first, please?
I actually sold like the microgreens and stuff to all those places for that little.
Yeah, fucking. I don't even know what it's called. Garnish. There it is.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
word.
Well, we did rainbow chard, bok choy, pea shoots, all kinds of different microgreens.
Yeah.
That's I had a little company with a buddy doing that. It was real fun for a while.
Was it here?
No, it was in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Carolina Eco Greens. And that was my first lesson in business and not. I was growing pot and he wanted to grow something, and he had just got his dad's delivered high-end meats and fish, seafood to all these restaurants. So we came up with the idea. I was like, dude, do microgreens and try to get in that. And it was perfect. We started getting in, and he started buying a bunch of equipment. He had just gotten a house because his parents bought another house that they turned into like their worked out of it. They built a big fucking little place on the water to where they got all fresh food right there when the boats were coming in to dock.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And so he got the other house at the other end of the water. And we both stayed there, and he built the whole grow op and underneath, because everything's on stilts out there. Well, we framed it underneath and built the whole grower. I mean, he spent a few $1,000s on it.
Fuck.
And I did all the work. I basically built it all, set it all up, taught him how to do everything, got everything into a system that was not like just some hobbyist. It was a legit, you know, you're going to come here, it was like a conveyor belt almost, how you're going to have something set up in a kitchen pretty
That's
much,
cool.
you know, because that's the only way. You got to be efficient, quick, easy. We can't
Grab a
work
box,
about,
you put it in, you fucking slide it, you wrap it, you put it in the box, let's go.
Yeah, well, the big thing is not paying attention to we had at one point had like 1,000 trays of different kinds of shit. We can't pay attention to every single one that has something, a little speck in this corner of this tray. It's got, well, fuck that speck. We got 10 other of those
shit.
trays.
They
and
can pick
100
those out at the restaurant.
Oh no, we just throw that away. It just got to that point. But he had a little bit of an issue with Xannies, and I don't know if that was what happened, if he lost his wallet like that, or if he got into debt with somebody.
Yeah.
But we just turned profit. I told him I don't want no money for anything until we start making profit. We pay off everything we've put into it. You put into it, and then it'd be equal. And as soon as we started turning profit, I got this. His dad and everything called me into the office, and they're like, yeah, so Alex is missing a wallet, and we think he stole it out of the work truck overnight. I was like, what? What night are you talking about? And they're like, well, it had his check in it recently. So I was like, oh, so over the weekend I was in Virginia, like 2 hours away at a college, banging out some chick staying in or sneaking in and
Shout
out
out
of her
Stacy.
dorm. Yeah, actually, Hunter was her
It
name.
was a girl named Hunter? That is intimidating.
She was hot, but
She
she
has
was from
to be,
Va Beach.
otherwise
She
she's,
was-
she's
she was one of those Va Beach girls, like you
like, if girl's
basically-
hot enough, her name could be fucking Dave.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. But if you are
Davina?
no, my name's Dave.
It's
I'm
Dave.
named after my dad.
We're like, that's cool. You want to go out for a drink, Dave?
She's like, yeah, but I'm fucking buying because I'm Dave.
And I'm Topper, bitch.
I run my own mulch company.
So when did you say this? When's your next one at the Ivory?
Don't know yet.
Don't know
We're
yet.
gonna figure that out.
Yeah. They charge you to rent, or is it a thing on them?
No, like
How
I
do they-
work for them, so I just cut them in.
Yeah.
Like
You split. You do a
for,
percentage.
I don't
split of
know
the door?
exactly how it's done.
Alcohol sales. Are you getting any percentage on that?
I think they get.
so. They're getting a
I think they-
percentage of your
they
door
just
and
take-
alcohol.
I think they just take alcohol.
If you're packing the place and you're giving them a cut of the door, they need to give you a cut of the alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know exactly because Dormeyer put the last two on, so I don't know all the details. Like him and Rachel, my girl, did it, so I don't know all the. I was just like, I'll just show up and like I made the stage, and I'll set up the room with you guys, and then I get to do my 5, or I get to host, and then okay, I'll clean up afterwards, and you guys make all the money. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm all about the money. I went to college for finances.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I want the money. No, I'm actually I'm looking at a place out in Wildwood that's a nice venue, and I might put something together. I think tickets can be about $15 or $20. I'll be able to make a few hundred to put into and actually open up a business account and open up an LLC for me and my comedy and doing shows, and build a bank account up so I can like really do something eventually.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about booking somebody decent, like spending a couple $100 on a decent comedian that's local. I just don't know who's worth it yet. I still gotta like them because I'm gonna do. That's one thing that I was on the fence about for a long time is putting a show together. Do you do comment? Do you do it, or do you just sit back?
That's my thing. Is like if
no,
I
you
start,
do it. You're
start
putting
doing
in the
these
work.
myself, I'm like,
Somebody said it like, why the fuck are you putting in all that work?
yeah.
For a couple $100, all the work you put in is only worth. No, you're doing it for the time. And that's the whole point of it. So, and that's cool if I can book a decent comedian. Like if I can start doing that, I can just book the comedians I want to work with and get to know. Mm-hmm. And on my podcast.
Yeah.
And piggyback off of them bitches.
Right.
No.
You guys need somebody to carry your drinks to the
But no, the place is nice. I think I think everyone would really enjoy it.
That'd be a fucking.
It's actually perfectly set up for comedy. Actually, like perfect.
That'd be an interesting crowd too out in West County.
Money.
Yeah, dude, those people.
It's a cougar den when I went there because it's blues and rock and roll, like older, classic rock and stuff. Cover bands basically come there and play every weekend, and yeah, it's cougar den. Just fucking all divorced.
Kids are at their dads. I'm going out.
Yeah, exactly. And those motherfuckers get trashed out there.
Dude, I worked out in Chesterfield for a long time at the ice rink, and those hockey parents, like West County hockey parents, oh my god.
My old lady's in Chesterfield, broad.
Some of the fucking skankiest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah,
just sleazeball fucking people.
They are. That's it's everywhere. It doesn't
my
matter
kid's
where
not
you go.
playing because
It sucks.
well, not even that. You're at the wrong rink. I just work at the rink. I drive the Zamboni, and you showed up at the wrong rink. I don't know what to do for you. Yeah, but I need you to fix it. And you're like, okay, I'll just
you
kill your kid for
Zamboni this ice for me, and I'll figure that shit out.
What you'd say is you go, I'll come back to locker room 2 because that was the locker room that everybody fucked in. That was the known locker room. See? Shout out Hardy's Iceplex. I'm putting it on blast. It's the one that used to be out in the valley, and they knocked it down.
He said, "Lay your body down."
Dude, they knocked it down.
Harvey
Top Golf is there now, and it's haunted.
Oh, right there, Top Golf.
Yeah,
I thought about reaching out to them and doing a show there.
That would be fun.
Just fun. Hit some golf balls.
I've been getting into golf. That I want to do. We should do like a fucking 4-man scramble or something, and have like.
I've never played like golf.
It's fun.
I've done.
It's fun until you fucking realize you suck at it, and then you hit one good shot, and you're like, "I'm back in, man. This is awesome. I get to drive a golf cart and get hammered outside.
We did
and no one can yell at me.
We did frisbee golf and did that, and that's
that
like a lot more fun because it's a bigger, like it's more. The terrain is like there's like wood. You're in woods and all this shit.
Right.
Throwing these frisbee discs. Just
they got foot golf too, which is like. You're on a golf course.
Have you seen
Spike
Ball?
Fucking soccer ball. No.
It's on TV. The other morning I'm watching it, and it's like.
Is it that Russian shit where it's like basketball, but they're playing rugby basically? I saw a video of that the other day.
No, there's a trampoline in the middle of the. There's 4 guys. There's 2 team members, right?
Yeah.
And there's a trampoline, and they have some kind of weighted ball, and they like. Throw it on the trampoline and it bounces up and they have to keep bouncing it back. It's like, what the fuck is this rich game? Like, this is some rich white people game.
You guys just got bored at Sky Zone and you had some medicine balls laying around and you're like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, what do you think about this one? She's like, it's awesome.
Where is my... I don't know what's So... Are you going to drop the N-bomb next week at the Funny Bone? Are you the next one?
Probably.
I think you can do it.
I'm going to call somebody a Nancy.
A Nancy. Well, I mean...
Coming up next, this fucking Nance.
So
I'm second, I think, on the list. So.
Oh, you're on the list next week? So that's what
for
people
Sunday.
That's this Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that's probably be hopefully up by then. So.
Cool.
Go see him in there. Funny Bone, Sunday, 7:00.
$1 online.
Yeah, check it out right now. Do it. Well, when this is uploaded, it takes a while. I got bad internet. What else you got coming up? Anything booked? Any sketches?
May 26th at Red Flag.
May 26th.
Keep an eye out for anything coming at Ivory Orange because we're probably gonna have one in the next couple months. Just got to figure out when. We wanted to do a
What's that social media?
It'll be on
Orange?
Facebook. It'll just be like an event on Facebook, but you can find it through my Facebook. It's Cody Bayer on Facebook, or Twitter at CBAYER13. My picture is me as Joker at
Oh yeah, the back door. Okay.
When everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on right
now?"
now?
It's a good night though.
That was fun.
Any other socials? Any other shows?
No, I should. I have an Instagram, but I haven't used it in 10 years. I should probably get on that.
I never used
I
Twitter.
feel like I'd be good at TikTok too, but I don't want to get made fun of.
I do.
I feel like I could really hone in on an Ed Sheeran thing on TikTok.
I've been thinking about
it's only like 7 seconds long.
Yeah. TikTok is the one I've been killing it. YouTube's got their own called the Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm getting like thousands of views on
yeah.
videos and stuff. So, what's your best piece of advice? This last thing that you got. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten and that you can give? 2 questions.
That I've gotten is from Gary Goldman to record everything, because that's the biggest thing. Like, just being able to put yourself back in that situation and hear that joke again, add on to it, like clip it down, put more in it, whatever you need to do. Just being able to have that reference point so you can build on every joke is really important. And one to give, I don't know. Take your time. Like
take your time.
Take your time
your best one. Yeah.
when you're on stage.
It's definitely learn the rhythm of your set. Like there's a rhythm to it. Like George Carlin says that he plays a song and it says da na na na, something like that. He has a tune that he always plays and it's in the same tune.
Yeah.
And that's how he did his. So. But that's what's up. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Bran.
Yeah, I'm gonna want you to get your old lady on here.
Hell yeah.
So let me know when you guys are available, and because it doesn't matter. I don't care about you. Can have multiple appearances. I've had Nate. I'm having Zach Bukovich back on.
All right.
Me and him are gonna argue more about capitalism and Marxism. That is one fiery little Southern fuck when you start talking about how great capitalism. He's like, it's not great. It's not.
I'm on fucking unemployment. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, right on. I'm sorry. We got to cut it short.
That's all good.
I got to give John Matty a ride to this fucking open mic. So
well, cool.
I'm sure he's been calling me.